Hello, friend. Welcome back. And if you're new here, I am so grateful that you and I bumped into each other. If you haven't already done so, please click the subscribe button and throw me a like or a thumbs up if you appreciate this information. Just helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Let's get human design in the hands of everyone on the planet. So, what do I want to chat about today? I want to chat today about contagion. But first, my name is Leanne Wolf. I am a human design and BG5 professional. I am an incessant researcher. I'm an information junkie, but first, I am a coach. I am a teacher, and I am an online course creator. I help people, men and women all over the world, recognize their patterns and walk through those patterns into a place of awareness so that they can love themselves at a very deep spot. They can really have joy in what they do in this world and stand in their self-mastery. So today's conversation is going to be around contagion. And just for, one moment, take a look at what's happening in our world. I had done a video and chatted about how things are actually designed. And this is no different. The contagion that's happening on our planet right at this moment, this lovely little virus that is floating around, it's by design. I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but it is true. So here's what we're going to look at today and why I'm going to talk to you why it is so darn important. So we have the 30th gate in Mercury. So just for a minute, go back to the complete Ray Ching and the 30th gate. What is it a part of? It is a part of the right angle cross of contagion. Okay. It is also the juxtaposition of fates and the left angle cross of industry. So for 12 days, the 30th gate is going to sit in Mercury, communication and thinking. And it's going to move through there. We're actually almost 72% through, which is, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to see that. So what is this 30th gate? Well, it's all about dealing with the fates, but it's also contagion. So here's what I also love. Mercury. What is Mercury? Mercury's communication and thinking. For the last 12 days, I will tell you, I have had unbelievable amounts of issues with my computers. I have 2 computers, internet, and I have tried to do this particular video about 15 times today and nothing was working. And now it decides that it's going to work. So, excellent. So what's it going to affect? Well, there's going to be contagion within our communication and our thinking. And Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. So anytime the neutrinos are coming through, Mercury is an important place for us to pay attention to. It's right there. It's getting that first-hand imprint from what's coming off the sun, those neutrinos, and then, its packet of information is then provided and then given to us, and it's in the 30th gate. How do we deal with the fates? And 5th line, total irony. What's going on today? If you haven't already heard, well, today that I'm recording this is on the 12th, so I'm probably going to upload it tomorrow onto YouTube. However, here's what you're learning is industry. We are shutting down all kinds of industry all over the world, okay, for a virus that, again, sorry if you're sitting in the fear factor of this, but this virus is shutting down industry, sports, organizations are stopping. There is a massive disrupt in industry all over the planet. So isn't it interesting when you start to go in and you start to delve and you unfurbish and unpeel all the layers? Like, you can go back with this 30th gate and go back to all of the crosses that it's involved in, and there's lots, and there's things going on back there. Okay, so it's asking us the awareness. What's the awareness here? What is the awareness that we can come up with in the communication factor? Well, I would say that we are not communicating this in a very healthy way. This has become a contagion based off of a very socialist agenda. Let's just say that. Now, again, if anybody's lost their lives to this, I am not being, discounting in the fact that people are losing their lives in this. I'm not discounting that. But people lose their lives every single day. And we have taken this to an extent that is really amazing. Now, the research that I have done over the last 2 weeks has all been lost to all of my computers deciding that they are going to do what they're going to do. I thought I had it all backed up, and apparently it didn't do it. So if you want to delve into this 30th gate, go back and look at all the different times when there was pandemics or massive contagions that were coming onto the planet. The 30th gate is usually hanging out in one of these outer planets, and Mercury's not outer, it's actually closest to the sun. But take a look at that. That's what we want to take a look at, because we want to see the actual structure of this. Now, we want to become aware. We don't want to sit in the fear of this. We don't want to sit in the nervousness of this. We want to become fully aware of the whole scope of this. And we could play around for days and days and days with every single line, all the information that's here. But 30th gate is, how do we deal with the fates? And today it's about irony. Irony in the fact that this virus, which truly has killed less people on this planet than pneumonia, has become a thing that has taken hold, and you will see it massively for 12 days. And then, what you're going to notice is that Mercury's going to move out of the 30th gate. And then we're going to have a whole different communication factor, right? So when we look at the 30th gate, then all of a sudden we're going to go over to 55. And what's 55? 55 is abundance. So in the 30th gate, here we have, hit up against this industry. Things are taking place in the industry. People are nervous. If they're forced to stay at home, how do they pay their bills? People are very nervous about that, and rightfully so. They should be nervous about that. That's all good. And then we're going to go into abundance. So the conversation is going to be a lot around abundance. And the contagion is going to be discussing this abundance. Where do we find our spirit in all of this? And most likely it's going to be distorted, because as I had indicated, we're in this delusional time at this moment. So all these transits that are happening in this last 7 years, understand that the big guys behind this, the big, as Rob would call it, the global orchestrated directories, the God, there's this delusion that's happening. Okay. So for 7 years, as we walk through these transits, know that there's this overarching delusion before we move into the next aspect in 2027. So just witness this stuff. Don't get caught up in it. Be aware of it and watch it. And again, I'm not discounting anybody that's lost their lives. That's never my intention. I would never want to be crass about this, but I want us to be aware of it and to watch the movement of the information that is provided to us through this structure, so that we can just witness it and not get caught up in it. For example, I live in northern Alberta, Canada. I live just outside of a city. I am on a cattle ranch, and I happened to have to go into the city yesterday for groceries. And I do a lot of shopping at Costco. They carry quite a bit of organic stuff, so I'm able to provide that for my family. And there's this whole toilet paper thing going on, and this shortage of toilet paper, and people are going crazy all over the world to try to get toilet paper. Don't you think that if we're going to be put into quarantine or lockdown, that we should have food versus toilet paper? Can't eat toilet paper. Can't build a fortress with toilet paper. And in my thinking, I'm like, well, I don't know. Worst case scenario, can't you use some face cloths or towels or something and wash them? I don't know. This is a respiratory virus, not an intestinal virus. But do you see how the communication in these last 12 days became this incessant contagion? And if one person started it, the contagion went like wildfire. Now know that, Mercury flies around here pretty quick. And we're going to see Mercury, I don't know how many days it goes around, to be honest with you. I should know that, but I don't know that. But it flies around fairly quickly. So we see the 30th gate come in quite often. But it just so happens that this contagion took place right at the right time. This virus took place at the right time for the contagion to take hold of it and push it. So just watch it. Like I say, I went back and I looked at different times where there was different pandemics, and the 30th gate is always in an outer planet. It's not particular in the sun and the moon, or Earth, but it's in an outer planet that's providing us with some kind of information. So I would love nothing more than the human design information to take hold and this contagion be, out into the world. But just be aware of it. And contagion I'm on the right angle cross of contagion. I understand this information very deeply. It comes to me at a very, very deep level. But I would love for it to really provide the information to the people when it is needed. So thank you very much. Again, huge computer issues. So hopefully this kind of works out the way it needs to. But play around with all of the transits. Just take a look at them, see where we're at. Here we have crisis and we have conflict. Well, wow, right? In amongst all of this contagion, we have crisis and conflict happening in the world as well. Very interesting. And our industries are shutting down. Okay. So what are we concentrating on? What is that stillness inside of all of this that is asking us to go, hey, self-imposed inaction. There is hundreds of millions of people all over the world that are actually doing self-imposed quarantine right now. You can't make this shit up, you guys. You can't make it up. And what's the vitality? What is this saying to us? You know what? This needs to happen so that we can move into the future. Where's the joy in all of this? I don't know. Love is love of life. Those people that are self-quarantining, do they actually love their lives so much that, they don't want to be a part of any of it? I don't know. I don't like, play around with all of these keynotes and see what you come up with. What are some of your thoughts? Throw them into the description. I love it when we can have these conversations. And what do we need to be alert about? This is the gate of alertness. The success of any interaction is based on the absence of any preconditions. We're looking at the spleen over here. What is the alertness that needs to happen over the next 9 hours? In all of this conflict and self-imposed, quarantines that we're putting ourselves under for this contagion that totally ironically, what's it doing to our communication? What's it doing to our awareness? Is it bringing us closer to awareness? Or is it pulling us out of the awareness and throwing us into this massive fear? Tells me that I have a connection error. Surprise, surprise. So, the 61 and the 24 is bringing us, again, this channel of awareness. And 54, I had mentioned in another video, how this 54, there's been so many outer planets dancing in this 54 for us to really get in touch with. What does ambition really mean? And like I say, I follow lots of stuff, and wow, ambition on this planet has turned the world upside down. One of the comments from my last video or a couple videos ago was, we need to literally remove the word success out of the dictionary. Too many people have a very distorted idea of success. And then we have 21% of the population who are our projectors or our advisors striving for this success feeling. And what they're doing is they're measuring themselves against an outside evaluation system that is not real. It's not real. If we're valuing ourselves based off of our bank account, there's something wrong there. And no matter how ambitious you are, your physical body is going to break down. So defining success for oneself is massive. And again, when we look at the 61, the planets, the outer planets have been playing around with the 61 and the 60 for us to go into that mutative energy, go into that inner knowing, go into these limitations, drop into those mutative energies and go like, what does this have for me? That's what I love when I coach people and I walk them through and they can see how all of this stuff plays out, but it's a process. It's not about just having a reading. Because daily this stuff moves around and then all of a sudden you feel like you're taken off your, rocker. The 27. This has been an interesting one for me. So nourishment is a gate of caring. It's there for over a year, okay, 396 days. So what the 27 actually does, the 27 actually strips the resources from the tribe so that it can nourish the tribe. Take a look at that. What's been going on for 396 days? Just take a look at that. Okay. And then the 22nd gate, this grace, this openness. Right now we're sitting in the charm school. What does that feel like? What is that? What does that openness feel like to us? Are we being forced into social interactions and we don't want to be? Or is this playing into this whole self-imposed restrictive energy that people are doing to confine themselves away from the contagion? So many thoughts happening here, but I'm going to leave that with you. I would love for you to throw some discussion in the discussion or in the comments down here. You know what, guys? It's all our interpretations, but it's about witnessing it. It's not about going, oh, I have to have this in order to evolve. You stand in your own body graph, and then you move forward from there and witness the movie. Thank you. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.